This easy chicken linguine Alfredo recipe includes golden pan-seared seasoned chicken thighs and tender noodles, coated in the most delicious Alfredo cream sauce. Tonight for dinner, I am making my family of 4 chicken linguine pasta with a homemade Alfredo sauce. It only takes about 30 minutes to make, and this is a very budget-friendly meal that will feed your entire family. From the previous videos, you will see that I only spent around $20 for this entire meal. This is one of our family's favorite comfort meals that tastes so much better than your average restaurant quality pasta. This 30-minute meal is going to be restaurant quality without even having to leave the house. I started off by prepping and seasoning my chicken. Half a teaspoon of soul food seasoning, half a teaspoon of Danno Primo seasoning, half a teaspoon of black pepper. I like to pat my seasonings into my meat to make sure my chicken is fully coated. It will turn out absolutely delicious. Anytime I'm making any type of pasta dish, I like to get the pasta out of the way first. Bring 6 to 8 cups of salted water to a boil, add your linguine, and I like to cook the pasta halfway through. Towards the end, you're going to add your pasta to your Alfredo sauce and cook it down for a little while anyway. So you don't want to cook your pasta all the way through, just so it won't be overcooked. We are also having broccoli and garlic bread. For the broccoli, I poured it into a pan with a little butter and seasoning. I let it cook on low for about 10 minutes. I don't like my broccoli super mushy, so I don't cook it at a high temperature at all. I put about 2 tablespoons of butter in a hot skillet. You can also use oil if you prefer. I added in my chicken and let them sear on both sides for about 6 to 7 minutes until they had a nice crust. Once my chicken was perfection and looking how I wanted it to look, I removed it from the pan and placed it to the side. If your chicken has not reached the internal temperature of 165, pop it in the oven on 400 for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now, I am an onion and peppers lover, so to start off my delicious Alfredo sauce, I had some leftover onion, red pepper, and orange pepper. I added those to the pan. I sauteed them down for about 10 minutes, and then I put the lid on to let them sweat for just a little while. Once my peppers and onions were the texture that I was going for, I added in my fresh garlic. You don't want to add your garlic in too early because it will burn and it will give your sauce a very bitter burnt taste. My family likes a really creamy and cheesy Alfredo sauce, so I make it the exact same way every time. I start off by adding in 2 cups of heavy cream and I put the lid on to bring it to a light boil. Once it comes to a boil, I turn the temperature on low. I add 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 tablespoon of sour cream, and all of those previous seasonings. Just a quick tip, make sure your heavy cream and cheese are at room temperature. I would say take it out about 10 minutes before it's time to actually use it. If you add super cold cream to melted butter, it will curdle, so you want to avoid that. Once all of my ingredients were combined, I mixed it up until I had a nice thick consistency. Once my pasta sauce was done, I added my pasta and a little pasta water. I mixed my noodles around until they were completely covered and nice and saucy. I let my pasta cook down for a few minutes before I added my chicken on top. I preheated my oven to 400, added my garlic bread in for 5 minutes. Also, I ended up putting my chicken in the oven on 400 for about 8 to 10 minutes so I can get a crispier crust on top. Once I removed the chicken from the oven, I chopped it up into little strips and then I poured it right on top of that linguine pasta. I garnished with a little parsley and a little bit more Parmesan cheese. I added some more pasta sauce on top. It turned out absolutely delicious. My family loved it, and if you're looking for a budget-friendly, delicious meal for your family, I highly recommend.